Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sanjana Hussain, and I shall be taking the English for the junior inter. As you know, children, out of the 100, the objective is 60%. So it's very easy for you to score the 60 marks. Objective, you get full marks. While in descriptive, as per the marking scheme, we are not supposed to give you full marks. And basically, the 60% of your grammar is what you have already done in schools, whether it's parts of speech, articles, prepositions, and so on. Everything is already taught to you in school. So let's begin once again with parts of speech. As you know, parts of speech are of 8. First one is noun. We shall do each one individually. First is noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection. But we should know the definition of all this. What is a noun? It is otherwise known as naming word. Excuse me. It is known as a naming word. That is, names of animals, persons, places, and things. So, they are 5 nouns. What are they? Proper noun, second is common, third is abstract, fourth, collective, and the last, you will find the last one only in certain dictionaries. Previously, there were only 4, but now they have added one more, which is known as material noun. Now, what is a proper noun? When you specify any name, whether it's a name of a person, place, animal, or thing, it comes under proper noun. Like take, for example, names. Aisha, Sana, Abbas, Hari, Ram, all these come under proper nouns. Places, Hyderabad, Delhi, Pune, Calcutta. Then names of the mountains, Himalaya, Alps, Western Ghats. Names of the months, January, February, March. Names of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Names of books, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible. All these come under the category proper noun because you specify the particular person, place, animal, or thing. And the important thing among proper noun is it's always written in capital letters. Names are always written in capital letters. Now coming to common noun, something which is in common. Boys, books, benches, pen, all these bags are all in common. Like when I say, give me a book, it can be any book. Give me a pen, any pen. But when I say, give me the English book, you are specifying a particular book. So that is why English book will be written in capital, especially when you specify anything. Common noun are again divided into two: countable and uncountable. Now, what do you mean by countable and uncountable? Countable, very easy, which can be counted. Uncountable, which cannot be counted. But many children make a mistake when it comes to uncountable. They say stars. Star is countable. Maybe with our naked eye, we cannot count all the stars, but they can be counted. So, and another thing about uncountable is they do not take up the plural form. While star, we say stars. Like take, for example, hair, sand, sugar, milk, all this come under the uncountable nouns. So when you say sugar, you don't say, give me sugars. You say, give me a little sugar, give me lots of sugar, give me little sugar, but you don't say, give me sugars. There is no plural form for the uncountable. So I hope you have understood the difference between the proper noun and the common noun. Proper is when you specify a particular thing, and common noun which you don't specify. Now, abstract noun. The best way to describe an abstract noun is something which cannot be seen but can be felt. Emotions, anger, beauty, happiness, hatred, envy, all this come under the abstract. Can you see beauty? You can see it, but mostly it is felt. Happiness, feelings, all this are abstract now. Collective, very easy. It's in collection, like a class of students. Class of students. Then a flight of steps, a herd of cattle, a bunch of grapes, a pile of books. All this come under collective noun. Now coming to material noun, like I said, this has come out very recently. It wasn't there earlier, but it basically is the material. The iron, gold, silver, all this come under material noun. So I hope you have understood what a noun is. It is otherwise known as a naming word, name of persons, places, animals, and things. And it has 5 subheadings: proper noun, common noun, abstract, collective, and material. Now coming to the second, pronoun. It is used instead of a noun. What do you mean by instead of a noun? Now take for example an example. Rama has come, Rama has brought some books. Rama is going to the washroom. Rama is opening his book. You don't go on repeating the same thing. Instead, you use the pronoun he, she, it, they. He is for masculine gender. She is feminine gender. It is neutral gender. Meaning when you talk about animals or things, when you don't know whether it is a masculine or a feminine gender, it is used. And otherwise they, plural, etc. This is the pronoun. Now coming to, oh, sorry. Third is the verb. What is a verb? This is the common mistake made by the children. When we ask them what is a verb, they say it's an action word. Yes, it's an action word, but it is more than an action word. Action word is only part of it. There is more to it than the action word. Verb consists of two things. One is the lexical, otherwise known as the main verb. The other is the auxiliary verb, otherwise known as the helping verb. This is very, very important, children. Many of you forget about the helping verb. You only remember the action word, which is the lexical, only part of it. And lexical is again divided into two: transitive and intransitive. Now, what do you mean by transitive and intransitive? The difference is intransitive doesn't have an object. Like birds fly. The birds are subject, fly is verb. But it doesn't have an object. Likewise, the sun sets in the evening. The sun is subject, sets is verb. In the evening is not an object. It is known as a phrase. This is very important, children. Many of you don't know the difference between a phrase and a clause. What is a phrase and what is a clause? Clause makes complete sense because it has a verb. Phrase makes sense, but it does not make complete sense because it does not have a verb. Like in the evening. In the evening makes sense, but it's not complete. Like in the evening, what? In the evening, I went out. In the evening, I slept early. In the evening, I read a book. So it makes sense. It's a group of words. It makes sense, but not the complete sense. That is a phrase. And that is why it is known as an intransitive sentence. Does not have an object. Transitive sentence has an object. Understood so far, children? This is the lexical verb. Otherwise, like you say, the action word. They are of two kinds, transitive and intransitive. The most important part is the auxiliary, or the otherwise the helping verb. Helping auxiliary is again divided into two. One is the models. Actually, I should write it there, but the screen won't be sufficient. And the other one is the primary. Now, what are models? Can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, need, did. All these are models. I'll come back to this. So models are can, could, will, would, may, might, and nothing. Like I was saying, when children are asked what is can, many of you make the mistake of saying it's a conjunction, while actually it is a verb. Likewise, is when we ask, people say it's a preposition, but both are auxiliary verbs. Primary is again divided into three. Be form, do form, and have form. Now, what have form is very easy. There are three. Has, have, sorry. And the negative forms, has, hasn't, have, haven't, had, hadn't. All these are have forms. Now do form, again, just like that, do, does, did. Plus the negative form, do, don't, does, doesn't, did, didn't. Now what are be forms? This is where many children forget. This is very important, children. Make a note of it. Is, am, are, was, were. As you know, am is written with the word I am. So the negative form you use, what is aren't. Is, isn't, are, aren't, was, wasn't, were, weren't. This is very, very important, children. Like I said, many children make the mistake when we ask them what can, will, may, is, they forget that it is a verb. Likewise, is, are, do, and has form, they haven't recollected. They only remember that verb is an action word. But it is more than an action word. The auxiliaries are very, very important. So if you haven't made a note of it, children, please learn this tree diagram well, especially because again, this not only reoccurs in the verbs, tenses, it's very important. Even in second year, you come across verb patterns where it plays a very important role. The intransitive verb as well as the primary and models. So children, please make a note of this tree diagram. Now, next is adverb. Many children get confused between adverb and adjective. So I'll give you some simple tips which will help you. So I'm going to write both at the same time. As well as the fifth one, adjective. How to differentiate between an adverb and an adjective? What is an adverb? Add verb, which adds something to the meaning of the verb. Like take sang. Sang is the verb. She sang loudly, awkwardly, beautifully, well. All these, she sang well. Why I'm taking this example is mostly adverb takes up ly. Slowly, awkwardly, beautifully, and everything. But he ran fast. Don't use the word fastly. Though ly is not there, well is also an adverb, fast is also an adverb. And adverb, the position of an adverb is after the verb. Position of a after the verb. And usually takes up ly. Now coming to adjective, it describes a noun. Like take for example, boy. Boy is a noun. He is a tall boy. Tall boy, thin boy, short boy, all this. And the position is before the noun. Adverb is after the verb. Adjective is before a noun. And usually takes up ER-EST. Tall, taller, tallest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Short, shorter, shortest. In some cases like beautiful, expensive, you use the word more or most. More beautiful, most beautiful. More expensive, most expensive. But you also have irregular adjectives. Like take, for example, good. The comparative form is better. Superlative is best. Likewise, bad, worse, worst. These are some of the irregular adjectives. Mostly, they take up ER, EST, or more, most, and the position of an adjective is before a noun. So this should help you, children, when you get confused whether it's an adverb or an adjective. Remember that adverb comes, the position is after the verb, and in adjective, the position is before a noun. Understood, children? Let's go on to the next. The sixth one is, sorry, preposition. In preposition, among all the 8 parts of speech, this is the most unpredictable because there is not much definitions that we can explain in this. Like preposition shows the position of a noun. Like take, for example, many children get confused when to use for and when to use since. For is known as period of time. It's known as period of time. While since is known as point of time. Now, what do you mean by period of time and point of time? Like a sentence. He has been living here you can use both. In what way? For. He has been living here for a long time. Or since 1990. Did you understand the difference? Since is used when you tell the particular time. That is why it is known as point of time. While for, you don't mention it, and that's why it's known as period of time. For a long time. Then there are some more sentences where you can explain, like between, among. This is very easy. Between is between two people. The sweets were distributed between Sana and Saba. Among. The sweets were distributed among the students. More than two, it is among. Otherwise, it is between two people or things. More than two. Okay. Now, I'll give you one example. This is a common mistake made by the children. When they are asked about it, the cat climbed, dashed the tree. Immediate answer you get is on the tree. This is wrong. It is not on the tree, but up the tree. The position, it's climbing up the tree. It jumped on the bench, but climbed up the tree. You should know these differences, children. And another thing that most people make mistake is when you have such a sentence, the school timings are automatically you write from 8:30 to 3 p.m. Yes, but suppose there is only one blank. The school timings are dash 8:30 and 3 p.m. Then what do you write? You cannot write from. When you write from, it ends with 2. So here it is between 8:30 and 3 p.m. Understood, children? Let's go on to the next. 7. Conjunct. Conjunctions. What are conjunctions? Joining two sentences. How many types of conjunctions are there? This many children seem to forget that there are two conjunctions. One is coordinating and the second is subordinating. Subordinate, which is not at par. Subordinate at a lower level because it depends on the main clause. I just now explained to you the difference between clause and a phrase. Clause is a group of words which makes complete sense because it has a verb. Phrase is also a group of words but does not make complete sense since it does not have a verb. Subordinating, which is dependent on the main clause to make sense. While coordinating is, he is handsome he is rich. Both are at par. It makes complete. He is handsome, a complete sentence. He is rich, again a complete sentence. Two main clauses are joined by coordinating conjunction. He is not only handsome, but also rich. Did you understand, children? Coordinating and, but, either, or, neither nor, not only but also, all these are coordinating conjunctions. Subordinating. If, unless, though, although, all these are subordinating conjunction. Now, if it rains, comma, the match will be cancelled. Subordinating conjunction usually begins. This is a subordinating conjunction. This is subordinating clause, and this is the main clause. Usually, subordinating conjunction begins. Though she was sick, she attended the classes. This is separated by a comma. Not that always it begins. At times, there's also subordinating conjunction in the center. So if, unless, though, although, all this comes until, all these are subordinating conjunctions. Now we come to the last part, that is the interjection. What is a name? This is among the easiest among all the 8 parts of speech. It expresses your feelings. Sudden feelings of great joy, sorrow. Like take for example, alas, hurrah, oh my God, all this. It is always followed by an exclamatory mark. It separates the exclamation from the remaining of the sentence by an exclamation mark. But there are times when it's a soft exclamation. Then you needn't put an exclamation mark, but you can put a comma. Oh, I forgot my purse. But always remember, exclamations are interjection or exclamations are always separated from the remaining sentence either by an exclamation mark or by a comma. So here are the 8 parts of speech. We'll again explain in a nutshell before I go on to articles. The 8 parts of speech are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Noun. There are 5 nouns: proper noun, common noun, abstract noun, collective noun, and the material noun. Common noun is again divided into 2, countable and uncountable. Countable nouns only take up the plurals. Uncountable nouns like sugar, hair, sea, all these do not take up the plural form. Like when we ask for sugar, we don't say, give me sugars. We say, give me a little sugar, give me lots of sugar. Likewise, pronoun. Pronoun is used instead of a noun, like he, she, it, they. You have other pronouns also, but these are the main ones. Verbs, you have to remember, verbs are of 2 kinds: lexical or the main verbs and the auxiliary or helping verbs. Lexical verbs are again divided into 2. They are the transitive and the intransitive. The difference between them is intransitive does not have an object. Now coming to auxiliary, auxiliary are of 2 kinds: primary and modals. Modals are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, need, did, etc. Primary are again divided into 3: be form, to form, and have form. Be form is, am, are, was, were. Do form is do, does, did. Have form have, has, have, had. Plus the negative form of all this, like be form is, isn't, are, aren't, was, wasn't, were, weren't. Do, does, don't, does, doesn't, did, didn't, has, hasn't, have, haven't, had, hadn't. Then next is the adverb. The main difference between an adverb and an adjective is the position of them. If you remember the position, it's very, very easy for you to find out whether it's an adverb or an adjective. Adverb usually takes up ly: slowly, awkwardly, beautifully, fast, well. They don't have ly. There are always exceptions to rules. And then there are so many. Plus, like I said, the position is after the verb. She sang loudly. She sang beautifully. She sang well. So all this, and it takes up ly, I said, position is after the verb. Now coming to adjective, the position of an adjective is before a noun. A tall boy, a short boy, a thin boy, a stout boy usually takes up er, est. Like I said, there are exceptions. Like for beautiful, you cannot use the word er and est. Instead, you use more and most. Likewise, for expensive also, more expensive, most expensive. Plus, you have some irregular adjectives like good, better, best, bad, worse, worst. All these are also adjectives. Now coming to the next preposition, it shows the position of a noun. Take for example, for and since. For is known as a period of time, while since is known as point of time. And between, among, between is between 2 people, among is more than 2. Conjunctions are of 2 kinds. The coordinating conjunctions, which joins 2 main clauses, and usually it is always in the center. Either, or, neither, nor, and, but, all these are coordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction joins a main clause with a subordinating clause Usually it begins with a subordinating conjunction followed by a subordinating clause. You put a comma and then write the main clause. Like though, although, if, unless, until, all these are subordinating conjunction. And the last is the interjection, which expresses sudden feelings of joy, sorrow, excitement. So usually it is written with an exclamation mark. Hurrah, alas, oh my God, oh, ah. These are soft exclamation. You needn't put an exclamation mark, but just put a comma before that. So with this, we finish parts of speech. I'll take up articles since we still have few minutes. Articles are very easy. We can complete it in this class. When we ask children how many articles are there, they immediately say 3. And what are they? A and the. Actually, there are 2. One is definite article. And the other is indefinite article. Do you know what is a definite article? The is the definite article when you specify something. Give me the English book. You are specifying a particular book. But when I say give me a book, I'm not specifying any particular thing. So that a becomes indefinite article. Likewise, you have an. An is also an article, indefinite article. Now, when is an used? The immediate answer is before a vowel, which is wrong. A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. And you say an is used before a vowel. I say it's not right. Because you say a 1 rupee note. O is a vowel, yet you write a, not an. Likewise, a European. E is also a vowel, but you use the word a, not an. Honest, an honest man. H is not a vowel, yet you use the word an. And A to the throne. To the throne. Okay. When we say vowels, it's not A, E, I, O, U, but the sound of A, E, I, O, U. This is the common mistake made by the children. You should remember it is not before A, E, I, O, U, the letter A, E, I, O, U, but the sound of A, E, I, like one. The consonant sound W comes. A European Y sound comes. But here H is silent, so you get honest, O sound, air, E sound. So that is why you write and before it. And another thing, 5 minutes now. The another most important thing among articles is abbreviations and acronyms. You know what abbreviations are and what are acronyms. Probably you don't know what an acronym is. Abbreviation, like Mr. We don't write Mr. We write MR. You put this. PM. Before abbreviation, there's always a dot. Sorry, dot after the abbreviation. ISI mark. And you spell out each letter. But acronyms, like take for example, ICRISAT, SAC country, all these, though they are abbreviation, you pronounce as a whole. SAC, you don't write ICRISAT, UNESCO, all these are acronyms. So before an acronym, whether it is this, you write a SAC country. You don't write, but before abbreviation, you write and ISI mark. Then a member of parliament. MP. MLA. These are abbreviations. You use the word an MP, an MLA, an ISI mark. But when you pronounce the whole thing, a member of parliament, a member of legislative assembly, when you don't write it as an abbreviation, you use the word a, but otherwise it is an. Did you understand, children? The is a definite article when you specify the as, the PM, the English textbook, everything, the is used. Plus, in when you do the degrees of comparison, it is used before a superlative. When we do degrees of comparison, I'll explain it more in detail. So I hope you have understood the two chapters that I have taken, children. Already in school, you have dealt with parts of speech and articles. But there are certain things where I found children did not understand, especially the verb tree diagram and articles, the acronyms and the abbreviations. I wanted to make this clear. I hope you have understood, children. So we'll end the session here and be ready to with your books again tomorrow at the same time. We'll continue with grammar. So this is where I end my session. Have a nice day, children. Bye-bye.